How we doing tonight, guys? Nice. Glad to be here. Glad you guys have come out. I'm ready to host this thing, so we can do it. Please welcome the first reader, Jason.
This is a poem titled Odysseus Returns. Penelope opens the door to a beggar, the recognition stale in her mouth, the ears buzzing like horseflies. The moment long yearned for is on her doorstep, and it is standing askew, caked in blood and salt, latticed with scars that tally his absence. There is no way to tell what horrors had waylaid him, except that the bodies of her suitors spell plainly that they have come with him, or as him, spanning the leaves of his stare, lashed together as the only bridge that could bring him home. And is it? Penelope lies in bed with a slumbering myth weighing down the mattress in a way she had forgotten. She looks at this gaunt, haggard king, this dark beast that had slouched toward her door, and the sleep does not come. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Always love your work. Always do a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. How many first-timers do we have here today? Any? Okay, I see you over there. Kind of. I actually can't see you today. I'm just going to feel better. So Out Loud happens every third Sunday of every month. So come out. If you can't remember, then we'll probably post about it online. We do sign-ups at 6, and then we start at 6:30. So if you want to read next time, make sure you come at 6, because sometimes it fills up really fast. So speaking of sign-ups, let's welcome our next person, Liam, yeah.
Thank you. This first one's called Found in Minutia. I was trying to stay under the wire here. The more details, the better. That way everyone, including myself, will accept me as one who appears to know what he's doing. A tip of my hat to the Moody Blues that I'm facing piles of trials with smiles. Sometimes even on the inside, I briefly enjoy a minutia of peace, but it's over in an eye blink. So I may as well drum up another pile of details and soldier on. Well, here's another detail to consider. What about those billion neurons in my brain that are not firing? I'm not gifted like women. Their right and left hemispheres are designed to be balanced, at least until they're thrown off by worldly disappointments. As a man, my left hemisphere is asleep, even without worldly minutia. So what the hell do I do with extrasensory perception, telepathy, transilliance? Do I let all that birthright stuff just play dormant? What about the times another ancient soul reaches out in dreams to make a connection? Do I simply shake it off as another dreaming that no one can control or be responsive to? What do I do with all these wildflowers that are growing where they're not supposed to be? I was born left-handed, but I had to relearn how to write and achieve at the age of 7 because of a ton of weight that landed on my left arm, causing 4 compound fractures. Men usually go from one extreme to another without knowing peace for more than an eye blink. Why is it so difficult for us to appreciate the wildflowers that grow between the cracks and within the lotus bouquet that is sitting just above our crowns? Let me close my eyes and open the one that keeps me wondering, the one that will never be lost, the one that is found in this minutia of what is known without having to ask. This is a song called Keep Us Alive. Babe, can you hear me when I'm speaking to you through a crowd? I'd like to know you listen when I'm calling to you out loud. I'm saying I love you and I'm not about to bend to my pride. It's simple and easy to say the words that keep us alive. When will we share it? When will we go there again? We have the courage. It's there for us now to begin. And there will be others who doubt what our story will be. We'll just let them see us. They'll wish they were nearly as free. I'm not asking for more than I'm able to give in our time. No regrets or confusion. We'll live for the moment and rhyme. When will we share it? When will we go there again? We have the courage. It's there for us now to begin. Babe, I can hear you. You're calling to me out loud. Let's bend to our passion and share what we didn't allow. It's simple and easy, the feeling that keeps us alive. We'll find our answers and know what we've always denied. When will we share it? When will we go there again? We have the courage. It's there for us now to begin. One more. This is also a song. It's called The In Crowd. We're seniors, don't you know? And gifted as we stand. We've always been your idols. We play in senior bands. We don't play for glory in all the things we do. It's more to be the leaders who've always sought the truth. We're seniors now, just as seniors then. A little less agile, but still the trend. We're seniors now, just as before. We're still the same, right to the core. We don't play for glory in all the things we do. We play to take the lead. We play to speak the truth. We're seniors now, just as seniors then. A little less agile, but still the trend. We're wiser now, so you should see what we are in our beliefs. We don't play for glory in all the things we do. We play to be leaders. We play to speak the truth.
All right, give it up for Lena. You've been writing like a book recently, haven't you? Or you've been promoting it?
Book 4.
4.
Hey.
Yeah, this guy writes. He writes things. Yeah, check him out. Ask him about it after. If you are lost for some reason, we're in the Speakeasy at Straight Ale, and they serve like beer or something over here. But I wanted to bring that up because there's these 2 guys back there doing this evolution of the beards or something. I don't know what's going on. You should go get a beer with them, or maybe just like a cranberry juice or something. It'll be fun. But yeah, go say hi. They're cool. Please welcome our next reader, Chloe.
This one's kind of entitled, but it's called Things That Become Resistance When You Live in the South right now. Open your mouth. What does it sound like? My grandmother snapping green beans 2 by 2 into buckets gone purple by the summer staining of blackberries. My grandfather's prayer over dinner. This blessing, this constant, thank you, God, for these hands, for this food on our table, for this body, And this is what it sounds like. The steady rhythm of labor, this over and over for nothing. This is what it sounds like. My voice, an accent I can only think about. An old turning of words the way my mother did, and her mother did, the way I lost it. Woke up one day with a new person in my throat, someone steadier, with a flatter line through her vowels, an accent like someone who only sometimes remembers she is Southern. When I say I'm from the South, what I mean is there is an army of blackberry bushes circling my family's property, and every year it seems to get closer. I think maybe we are dancing around the point here. Do you hear it? This is not about blackberries or green beans. This is about the prayers thrown into empty space by blue-collar children and their grandparents, how they are hoping they will wake up with muscles that do not ache and food they did not have to bleed for. This is about resistance. This is about offices with their backs turned on the weary, the titled people who have never met my people. This is about my people. Can you hear them? Their rolling tongues of resilience, my people, my hillbillies, my rednecks waving pride flags, my left-leaning Appalachians with hollowed-out cars in their front yards and trucks that actually get work done. This is what they love to call us out for. Them who think themselves fighters, they will call us these things with venom, air us out like dirty laundry along the power lines our great-great-grandfathers broke their backs for, and they will still call us uneducated, unmotivated, behind, but do you hear it? Our fighters are right here. They were born here, love, here, this is what it sounds like. We are not helpless. We're pushing from the inside out like we have been for ages. When the TVA gave my great-grandmother bedroom lights, and they had to redesign their kitchen for a refrigerator, that was not them. That was us. That was my people. You cannot call it like you see it unless you have lived it, and they have never even tried, because they hear me, all flat voice of me, saying Southern, saying Tennessee. They make a face like there is a secret between us. Something like pity. Maybe they think me a victim, a trapped person, a mirror they can see themselves in. What a privilege it is to fit into their spaces with no question of my origin. But this is what it sounds like, a whisper of who I was, a witness of what is coming. And when they have me on the stand, whether victim or guilty party, I will swear on my grandmother's Bible, I will not take it back. I will not become someone new, because when I tell them I'm from the South, I do not want sympathy from people whose voices do not roll, who do not know me the way this land does, the way she holds me to her chest like she's afraid she will lose me. I will not apologize for holding her back when she is crying for help. My land, my love. When I say I'm from the South, I will never want an apology. This is a little bit shorter. It's called Maybe It Wasn't My First, but It Is All I Can Remember. Inside a dirty white house that doesn't exist anymore, I shoot 3 Nerf bullets at my somehow cousin and cry when it hurts him, even though I knew it would. That day, someone with a face I cannot remember bakes a cake in a tiny square kitchen, and I sit in the living room floor and pretend I am sorry. When it is finished, she flips it upside down in the middle of the table, and it shines in the midday light with perfect lines of pineapple slices circling sickeningly sweet cartoon red maraschino cherries. This was the first pineapple upside down cake I can remember eating. After I received my slice and stole the cherry from whoever was unlucky enough to sit beside me, I decided the best part of a pineapple upside down cake was the top, or rather the bottom, maybe the upside, whichever side you think holds the pineapple, unless the cherries bleed out like a crime scene across the sugar. And there was a crime scene at that table. The victim sitting across from me with his face cherry red and 3 Nerf bullet holes lining the right side of his spine, where I tried my hand at war before deciding I would rather eat cake that tastes like summer than real plastic guns at 10-year-old boys with bad haircuts and Halo t-shirts. Yesterday, I called my grandmother to ask her about Nerf guns and pineapple upside down cake when she couldn't remember. We spent an hour listing the names of the women in my family, trying to figure out who would know their way around a kitchen and who would have been alive to make it. It sits in my memory now. That old White House where it used to stand welcoming and familiar, the time I spent there alive and careless. These days, when the ghosts of that house creep up my spine, remind me that some of the best things in life are the simplest. I line a pan with perfect pineapple rings, fill in the holes with blood red cherries, and I go back to the summer of chaos, of full tables, running barefoot through a crumbling house, Nerf guns ready, loaded, cornered in the laundry room, laughter bouncing off the walls and the smell of sugar heavy in the air. That day, we were so young, turning family into make-believe victims, chasing each other all the way to the dining room table, and not caring who the winner was when we all got cake.
Hey, Chloe! Wow! Can we turn into like a movie? I feel like I was in that. Like, there's so much energy. I love that. I gotta say, as a bartender, that part where you're like, behind, yeah, I felt that. It was kind of triggered me a little bit. Anyway, great job. I forgot to mention that we have like rules. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of icky, I'm sorry. But we do have a 5-minute rule. Not that anybody's broken this at all yet. You get 5 minutes up here, just if you didn't know. So you can read like 20 poems if they're like, really short. But you can also read like one really long poem. So just throwing it out there. This next reader, she's like this, I don't know, she's this person. Has really bad handwriting, honestly. I don't know, maybe she writes some of this. Please welcome Kimberly.
Hi, it's been so long since I've seen you all. I am just some person named Kimberly. I have 2 poems for you. One of them I wrote today. One of them is from this book that I have, and I'm going to subliminally read it so that I'm sending you messages that you can buy it if you haven't bought it yet. But I have some if you want to buy it. This is me subliminally telling you. I'm not speaking out loud. I'm actually shining into all of you right now. But yeah, had to spend some money on a car today or this week. So, if you like it, come hang out with me and talk books. All right, this one is new. I just wrote today. It doesn't have a title yet. It's a 76-degree August morning in your hometown where you and your dog are jogging down a gravel path next to a lake whose name you once knew and now only ripples softly with new algae blooms. You are learning to run without chasing or being chased. If this was 10 years ago, and the boy you loved twice was still alive, and so was his dad living just one street over, would you instead be running the fire road connecting your 2 worlds? Would you be stopping over for a quick cup of Folgers and some trash TV? Or would you no longer be on speaking terms, each choosing different lifestyles, but at least each still choosing to be alive? There are still things behind you. The boy who loved a bottle more than your body, the boy who broke things just to claim control, the girl who loved you but said she could never really be with a woman, the boy who only knows how to catch and release, the boy who died and only lingers in the shadowy edges of the what-ifs. These things are no longer what you are running from. There are still things ahead of you. The 3rd promotion in 2 years, the 2nd book of poetry about the bad year, the steep slab of granite with subtle ripples of pock marks, the lake house with a wraparound front porch and a quiet hammock. These things are no longer what you are running towards. You are a bird on an easy wind. Your direction is shifting again. Some call it brave to endure this flight. You yourself have called it fickle, called it commitment issues, but it takes commitment to the self to keep rebuilding a world when it breaks again and again. You may be living in cycles, but you aren't going in circles. Even the moon keeps becoming new despite the same old wax and wane routine. There is a moment when you are running, when you are only moving for the sake of moving, where your lungs feel close to collapse, and 1 more mile is a plant wilting in the palm of your hands, but you remember being told to run tall, to drive roots into the ground with each touch of soul to earth, and somehow you can keep going around the next bend, and maybe see something beautiful, or terrifying, or bland, or unique, or small, or selfish, or extravagant, but the point is you still get to see something new, something yet unnamed, even though you are here on hallowed ground where the ghosts of a dozen dead friends and the rivers of dozen more washed out relationships create a cold current in the air around you. It can all still be new again. We got a breakup poem theme, so we're keeping it thematic here. This is called Blame Shift. It began with Adam. The wet car door handle slipped through my fingers when she told me, I am already learning to blame the other woman first. When Mom moved out, Dad didn't drink the same way. Apologies ring inside the phone. Decline, decline, decline. Mom lives somewhere else but keeps coming home for clothes. I pack my clothes in my car and move away from James when he gets locked up again and he cannot chase me. I allow myself to be seen as object. Living out of a car is simple when it's just you and your dog and you stay south for the winter. The South has salvaged my decline too many times. James's funeral reminds me of that driveway. I am losing my love for the first time. I am blaming the wrong person. Mom moves back in when the lying stops, when the bottles are buried. Alabama asks me to stay, but I'm scared of the summer. Robert asks me to stay, but I'm scared of being happy. Summer can't last forever. I don't know who to blame. Robert says I love you and I pick a fight. I am a flower girl, a bridesmaid. I've kept no dresses. I am planning a wedding. My dress arrives. I cannot wear it. I pull petals from flowers and scatter them around. I get a new mirror. I wear the dress. I drink. I stop. I find a new home. I try on new clothes. I learn to apologize without flinching. Adam asks me to forgive him New Year's night. Midnight arrives. I do. I do. I do.
Good job, John. How embarrassing. You're short too. What the heck? Miss you. So glad you're around. At least for today. Great. So, other things you should know about us is we have this gray box over here, and we sell stuff out of it. You should buy stuff if you want it. There's cool like journals and stickers and books that have poems in them. And one of them is Kimberly's, at least one of them, I think. And we have our anthologies in there as well. So yeah, more about that later. But yeah, just letting you know we've got some pricing here. Definitely check it out. Please welcome our next reader, Anna.
Hello.
You.
So I'm a bit of a metalhead. I like that kind of stuff. And as much as I love the music, there is a serious problem with misogyny and a lot of lyrics. I've been indulging fantasies of violence towards women, and I kind of have a bit of a problem with that. So these bands are like Cannibal Corpse, Acid Bath. Love them, they're great, but you know, I don't vibe with them wanting to kill women. So this silly little piece I wrote in the name of feminism and metal. This is about beating a man to death. I want him down at my feet, broken, bleeding, crying out for what he never gave. Love, mercy. This gore on the sidewalk is his best shade of red, and I want to paint it on my lips. It all meant nothing to him, the things he said, the promises he made. I hate that he's pushed me to this, but he broke my heart, so now I'm breaking his face. This cold lead in my hand is warmer than he ever was, and it brings to us a closure he'd never consider. With each swing, I feel better. With every spurt, splatter, and crack, eases something inside of me. All his pitiful gurgles and sputters, finally, he feels a fraction of what he did to me. I want to treat him like a mantis. I want his head when I am finished with him. I will have my feasts on the fragment of his skull, and I will don his teeth around my neck. In our emotional and physical pain, I am stunning. Does he think I'm pretty now? Thank you. So this next piece is a revision of one I read last month. This is about getting drunk in London, but this time I added some sad paragraphs. Bliss is found in the Barbican, the ugliest part of Europe's busiest city. Here modernity meets medievality. The nearby church, over 6 centuries old, a survivor of the fire and the Blitz, a testament to the enduring power of history. I wish to have the fortitude of St. Giles Cripplegate to, despite it all, withstand the torments and turmoils of life. As I look up at the stained glass, I remember wanting to do it here. It seemed like the perfect place, quiet, dear to me. I felt sad but okay, because I had something beautiful waiting for me back home. My beloved Milton isn't here, the one whose works have been in my heart for nearly a decade now. I met him once a few years ago. I never thought I would see him again, yet here I am. I am so, so happy. I think of him as I sit on the patio directly beneath the sun. Across from the artificial pond, I have the perfect view of the ancient church. It is a sweltering summer day in London, much different from the London he knew, but I can still feel him here with me. For once, I feel a silence that is not solitary. I wish I had killed myself in London, washed down every pill I packed with a cheap bottle of red wine I bought from the corner store. I was finally given a second chance, and I still fucked it up. I've been fucking up a lot lately, loving too hard too soon, loving the wrong things. What I wanted most in life, I dropped the second I got it. If that stupid girl in the Barbican had known, she would have done it. The only thing she knows she wants now is for it all to be over, just to be over. As I sweat out my second Aperol spritz, I appreciate the beauty of this hideous estate. The bubbles in my glass soften the concrete, and the light from the azure sky gives life to the soulless surrounding walls. What a special, wonderful moment this is. I have dreamt about it many a time, but I am wide awake now. This sweat is real, this drunkenness is real, this moment and this joy is real. Paradise is found. As my drink comes to an end, so does my final day in London. I am stumbling and I smell terrible, and I am joyous. The European aversion to ice and AC does me no favors, but I cannot find an ounce of annoyance within me, because now I am on my way to Nando's, leaving my heart and hope behind in the Barbican, to exchange them for a spicy chicken sandwich and the devastation that awaits me back home. Through London, I make my oblivious way.
You got like less than a minute.
Nice job. Can I just say, Cannibal Corpse is actually one of my favorite metal bands. But I really like your poem. Let's welcome the next reader, Grace.
Hello. I've got 3 for you tonight, 1 old one and 2 new ones. This is called While You're Away. I make eggs every morning for breakfast. Sometimes scrambled, sometimes boiled, always eggs. It's habit now, the whole thing as familiar as your hand on my back, as your hand missing from my back as I fill the pot, turn on the stove, peel, sprinkle with salt till my wounds ache. My skin is grazed all over from missing you. Our son tells me he sees you in the clouds. He waves from the back seat when I drive him to school. I hear him whisper, Dad, 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 and I hope you hear him too. At dinner, I cook all the same meals, only now there are leftovers for lunch. I bring snacks into our bed at night as if all it would take to fill the emptiness is for me to be bigger. How much do I need to eat until the loneliness is starved? More than my share, I think. Thank you. This is called Omens. When I tell my mother the name of the street to which we are moving, she tells me it must be a good omen. Bide a wee. It means stay a while. I do not tell her how nearly 20 years ago, the original owner, a woman in her 90s, was murdered by her gardener. I collect them like stamps, omens, send them like letters to every previous version of myself, tell them, look at all these places we have traveled. When I married, the house was filled with ladybugs, one crawling on my fingertips like a red beacon, and every summer now I remember that my hands carry love, balance it, though sometimes precariously. I tell my neighbor the messages I receive in dreams, and she tells me she has dreamt of my children as if they are her own. Love is a very good omen. If the shoe fits, perhaps the other won't drop. Lace them tightly, wear them until the soles are threadbare, the earth solid and warm on your skin. Thank you. This one is like one of those poems I can feel the urge building to explain what it's about because I'm very nervous to read it. I'm not going to do that. This is called On Having Kinks. A sharp twist or curve in something otherwise straight, we all have them. A stiffness in the neck as if it has been thrown back in ecstasy for a moment too long. And why is purity a thing so narrow? Why can't it be a river flowing and lapping up and over its own bed, the perfect place to have lost all of one's clothes? Why can't it be something you can smoke, fill your lungs with, breathe out steadily in rings before it makes you cough? Purity can be rough on the throat. A rabbit hops from garden to garden, its limbs all quivering, and it is pure. Untie all your knots, press down like flattening crumpled leaves into fortunes you can read again. The river, she is moving now. Watch her closely, how she curves round the bend, how she is an entirety of pleasure. I am not here to be your missionary. We can all save ourselves. Thank you.
Grace has a book out right now. You should definitely go and talk to her. She's written a lot of cool stuff, and she's actually had a feature here, so definitely check out her stuff. What other stuff? Great. So let's see, what else should I talk about? folks. We have a membership program. So if you want to be like a member of this cute little thing we got going on, it's $25 a year to be a member. And you get some cool stuff, like you get like a little mug that we seem to never have to show off, which is fine. We'll get it eventually. We'll probably get it. I don't know. Just give us some money. You also get access to our members Discord, which sometimes we share poems in there. We like shoot ideas around. We do a member meetup as well. I think the last one got postponed, unfortunately, because there were some storms. But those are fun. Like we'll just like play board games and like hang out and stuff. And if there's, it's usually at a bar or a park or something. So anyway, yeah, $25. Be a member. We're super cool. Please welcome our next reader, Elizabeth.
Hello.
You.
I think this is fine. Okay. I'm not going to adjust it. So this is my second time here, and I've been here 2 months now. Guys, I'm super homesick though. So if you guys want to be my friend, that's cool. This poem, I'm from Las Vegas, so a lot of these poems are still kind of desert-like. It'd be interesting when things start to impact me here. I still feel like it isn't. Alright. High died in winter. In the new house, we sleep in our own beds. There's no landlord, and the scorpions did not follow us. Every article shaken loose, removed from its box. The scuffed tiles are a memory of baby teeth taking a spill. The oleanders meet us again. Milky blooms formed into trees, almost. This time, there are no secrets between us. Their petals scatter. The windows face north, west. It's 15 years since we passed the last exit. We've driven through the question, should we turn back? People stop asking when I'm going to have another kid. Finally, the news catches on. I count pieces of fruit, slices of bread, a carton of milk, and begin to buy in bulk. Through shared walls, the neighbors remain muffled, conversations and a sliding door closing. Garage doors line the streets by threes, and every dog barks at the whiff of a stranger. But it's only the neighbor who said hello once. We've never climbed the high dive. It doesn't exist at the community pool. Still, I have a memory of standing at the top with you, delivered once and for all from a sky-high debt, delivered by degrees in the hall of places we've left behind. Breathe freely. We can breathe freely. But then I forget. It's almost Lent. There are 2 pieces of chile mango, a sleeve of water crackers. I consider giving up sweets. There's millet we never ground in the shutdown. Worst comes to worst, after the oracle's broadcast, we visit the dead, we light the candles, we give thanks. Burn the palms and smear the ash. Receive what's offered. Then go home to wash our faces, while troops assemble, and my son kicks out a melody note by note. I'm reading the passage from meaning. The sunrise reminds me, the night startles me awake. On occasion, I'm crying in the front row. There are electric guitars, pedals, and as 2 or more are gathered, the one who unites us. Otherwise, it's the usual. I knock on the bathroom door. It's time to get out. It's late. The hot water spends. I sit with the mystery as long as possible, then suddenly replay the argument from last week. I count steps backwards to the resurrection. I remember now. It's winter in the desert. The Hoover Dam of childhood churns slowly. But there is a surprise waterfall everyone hears and no one sees. The mist dampens my face. I remember this is no time to play at love. I put my face in the fountain. I soak every word I have. I wring out the refuse. See the places where the dye bleeds into the knots. Breathe freely. Thank you. I had 9 months to anticipate and that was interesting. And I was thankful, but it was hard. And all the while I was writing, or trying to write these poems about leaving the places where my grandparents were buried and where I gave birth and crazy things like that. So I wrote this poem. It's called To the Mirage Meadow, Vegas Valley. Had someone shown me the spring mountains at dawn, I might have loved you at the start. But from the moment we arrived, I said one day I would leave. Good thing we've heard enough mourning, veiled in bluster, to wait out the monochrome lament. It appears like shale, scorched, but it breaks apart over time. The places you don't resemble, the places we left for a reason. Did you foresee my change of heart? We drove over the Sierra Nevada range from the deep end of border-crossing fantasies. A woman offers a solution and a key. A man turns the ignition. This will take us far. That's how it went down. Goodbye is a tide that does not recede. It washes us inland. I struggle to tell you, though my second language and you, my second home, have drawn me in nearer than my first. Am I disloyal? Now especially, having stopped all that talk of leaving once I was able to go. Proximity is everything. The asphalt grid with its fence of interlocking hands is open. To my surprise, I will not remain in this mirage meadow valley. I will take you with me. Did you already know? Thank you.
You said this was first time reader? Second time? It's great to have you. Love your poem. So, I mentioned that I was going to bring up this other thing that I was talking about earlier. It's called The Anthology. I think it's time to start just talking about this a lot, like, until next year. So, yeah, the anthology that we have, you can submit everything you've read or written. You have to have read it up here. But you can submit your poems to our book of anthology of everybody that's read, and it's cool. Like, your stuff's in a book, and you get to show it off to people, and you're like, look, I'm like famous now. So, but we have like a lot of past anthologies as well. But the most important thing is, how do you get in the anthology? Well, I'm really just bringing it up right now. I don't have any real like resources for you, but we're going to be talking about the anthology a lot coming in the next months to get you guys to put yourselves in it, and let's get like a nice thick book, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's welcome our next reader, Amelia.
Damn right.
You said that I was ravishing. I didn't look. You turned my head. I had to know who the hell you thought you were. We went to a party, and you took me on. Our hands were dancing. Is this romance? Silly fingers. Walk them anyway. The music made its way to our toes. Are we in the hall now? Short and sweet. The time we pranced. On your feet. Music distorts. That's the end of that one. This one I'll just call Tiny Yellow Star. Put on display that piece of art you made as a child. Stuck to the fridge. It's not cold. I can see you. I'm a tiny yellow star. googly eyes, and a paper heart, 5 crooked points. My arms jut out. I just want a hug. Years pass, no love. My steady adhesion to the cold metal door slips into the pretext of a great fall.
First time we were a million. You did such a good job, bestie. Those are actually, you performed them way better than I thought. Like I was like, is this really going to hurt or not? Damn. So just kidding, you did great. Okay, please welcome our next reader, Alexis.
I've got 2 poems. This one is called Nested. Every night I dream the same dream. The thrill of moving around, the weight of still going down the road, making it all real. The wonder of the planet concave under me like a bubble, how the reflection wraps back around me, seals me in rainbows. My favorite sunlight is reflected or filtered, refracted by water, buttered with dust. Not the light itself, but what it creates. The dream always ends the same. At a place on a hill made of fir trees and floating windows, we always arrive just as the last citrus of the sun is pinched under the thumb of the horizon. The beams shatter the air back and forth, the sky and the glass, and I always crawl into my nest when the day ends. And I only rest when I'm an object within a similar one. The child in me is held by the mother in me, is held by the crone of me, and we circle like a slow cyclone, or like a rose, or like a swirl of twigs, amusing ourselves, eating, sleeping, breathing. Swear I'm more than a nested object, shaking off the husk of my mother. I'm a dream within her dream. This one's called Bubblegum. We are walking on bubblegum, our heads are helium-based, the air is the steam that floats over hot cider, apple-y and floral, and condensation forms on our heads, so we retreat somewhere, anywhere, a place with mirrors on all the walls, so we leave, and at our next destination, we don't get out of the car. I want us all together, I want you all alone. I can be a character of myself, I can be the barest of myself, and I hope you do too. This is what love can do, but what it can't do is there too.
Okay. So, oh my God, what are these? There's these bartenders back here. What are they? They look so cool. What the heck? Oh my God. What do you got going on back there? Is it like liquid? No, you don't have anything? Oh, you did? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's for me, right? Okay, cool. We'll talk about that. Yeah, please go tip them if you bought a drink. They're so cool and they poured all your beverages. We love that. Cool. So next reader, please welcome Tamika.
Howdy, everybody.
Hey.
I have 2 poems this evening. The first is called Dear Love. Dear Love, why have you been so cruel to me, passing me over time and time again? I long for you to hold me, kiss me, and touch me, but you treat me like I have a disease, as if my pleas have fallen on deaf ears. Give me a moment as I wipe away my tears. Did I hurt you in another lifetime or maybe another season? Did you present yourself and I brushed you off for no reason? Did you smile at me and I looked past you? Did you ask me a question and I responded with an attitude? Yeah, that had to be it. I know I can be rude at times, pop off and get indignant at times. I can't blame it on a bad day because every day seems to be a bad day. All I can say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry I never intended to hurt you. The way you leave me scorned and alone, I'm so broken. My heart is blue. I would never wish this on my worst enemy. How can I right this wrong? How can I make you come my way? What formula do I need to compute? What words would you have me say to get you to stay with me, not just for the night, but for an eternity? I want to know you and what you can be to me. I want to experience you in all your splendor and your glory, your passion, your touch, your goodness. I want to be able to tell my friends about the first time we kissed. But it won't be enough for me to tell them. I want them to see that this scorned, jilted woman has encountered your beauty. Just the thought of you is making my heart smile. But I don't want this for this moment. I need it for the lifetime. I would love to meet you, get to know you, spend some time with you, talking to you, maybe have a cup of coffee with you, if that's your thing. Go out on a date with you, learn what makes you smile, what makes you blush and happy inside. Learn about your ways and why you have chosen to hide yourself from me all these years. The thought of you is bringing me to tears. Dear love, do you have any room for one more? If so, how much longer do I have to wait? Please find a way to make me yours. Put a forever smile on my face. Foster my heart until it mirrors you. Cherish my soul, make me anew. Dear love, tell me that it's not too late, because I really want to know you. All right, this next poem is featured in one of the old anthologies. Wanted to share this with you all. Give me all a plug there. All right, it's called Unforgiveness. U is for unintentionally. I am unintentionally carrying this disdain for you in my heart. N is for nurture. I continue to nurture this pain, caressing it like fine art. F is for favor, the favor that has departed while I pursue this passion of hate. O is for oppression, the overwhelming sense of oppression I get when I hear your name. R is for right, the right I have to choose to be nice to you or to be mean to you whenever I glimpse your sight. G is for grace, the grace I have for others, but for you I choose to deny. I is for impaired, the impaired judgment I have that allows me to choose to do you wrong. V is for vengeance, like vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, but he is taking way too long. E is for endure, I've endured the torment of misery you constantly bring. N is for nuisance, you are such a nuisance to me, why can't you just let me be? E is for examine, I must examine why I can't seem to let this torment go. S is for simmer, this poison that I've offered you keeps simmering in my own soul. S is for sorry, I'm sorry our paths ever had to cross. The more I think about your offenses, I know it's you who are at a loss. I have no reason to be scared of you. I no longer refuse to be a prisoner of your poor decisions, because through forgiveness, I will now be made free. Thank you.
So, we're like a non-profit, by the way, which means we don't really make any money. But it says there's thank you on here and donations. So if you'd love to come here and hang out with us and do the workshops and you like the anthology, consider donating. We would love that, and these little geese would love that too. They're so cute. They're running around. Cool. Please welcome our next reader, Lona.
This has been so fabulous. I could spend the whole time just talking about y'all's poems. So good. I mean, God. F is for favor, really? I was thinking something else for F. And that happy star reminds me of a necklace that I have that they said it's a happy lesbian starfish. And they told me I should write a children's book called The Happy Lesbian Starfish. It'll be the #1 pamphlet. Anyway, January I did this thing where I had people give me topics, and if I had a poem about it, I'd do it. I haven't had a chance to do it, but the next one that I drew out was Earth. And I had 2 poems that fit the bill that I'd already written by the time that was. One of them was like an angry end of the earth, and the other one's sort of like, oh, the earth. Which one do we want to hear?
And
Get angry.
Angry? Okay. This was a prompt that said that it has to be about the end of the world, and it has to involve something embarrassing, and it has to be one long run-on sentence, and it has to be not edited. You just have to write it all at once. So it was fun. It's called Micturition. Say 8-page run-on sentence. All right, Micturition. There was that time after support group I had to stop at Target, and I was dressed feminine, but I wasn't out and was just starting to look a little bit like a girl. And I felt good. I had the courage to be out at the store, but then I had to pee, and it was like not something that could wait, but I had to primp and cross and flinch, and I was terrified. So I went back to the family restroom by the pharmacy, and it was locked, and I asked the guy at the counter, who looked up absently, but it was not his deal, and I had to find the night manager all the long way up at the front, who said they had lost the key. So I asked if I would get arrested if I used the ladies' room, and he looked at me blankly and said I could use whichever, and thank God, because I barely made it, and it was such a sweet relief, even though the place was just dark and white and bare, and smelled disappointingly just like every men's room I'd ever pissed in. So at least there was that time when my friend was at the other big box store down the road, and she had to go, and her shoulders were more broad, and she has less hair, and she is taller, but she has a gorgeous rack and a take-no-prisoner smile and attitude. But she was stopped by some big hairy leg in a yellow vest from going where she needed to go, and it all just fell down her leg and wet her dress, and the piss and her tears formed a large puddle on the floor. And she just flipped out of that place and wrote a letter full of just wanting to burn them to the ground about that flood, and they apologized, but with some attenuated circumspection. But at least there was that time. All this week, our whole valley is flooding, and some can't even get to work, let alone piss comfortably. And Bjorn says there's no snow in freaking Sweden this winter, and still I have to drive and shop and consume warmly like everyone else here in my inland home. So the beach might be closer, even though it would be a nightmare. Of all those places and dreams covered in puddles, but none of us felt urgency. But at least we might remember getting a damn one, so at least there was that time. I've read a lot of poems these past several years about my divorce and the end of that marriage, and I thought, about damn time I write about my marriage. And I read this at our wedding. This is to my party bird. I love her so much. It's called In the Music of a Quiet Morning. In the music of a quiet morning, I am listening to small creatures singing in the threatened line of trees hiding darkly between growing rows of houses. I could still be asleep as the lullabies spring from the leaves, but I am called into waking, and like these chirping birds and frogs and cicadas, I must also answer to the scratching thirsts and hungers of the day. I think about stacks of paper and the meetings and all the little fires that need tending, and the press of eyes and whispers and the ever-circling shadows and the lists and times and seasons unlocking, carefully waiting gates of grace. And I must wonder whether any one thing insufficient to itself against the need is ever truly counted free. I let these questions simply fall away as your hand moves silently into mine, holding neither my fingers or my fears or my shame, but just my heart. And I know that whatever befalls us, here in the singing stillness between the times, when you see me, I am not erased.
Thank you so much. I always love hearing you read, Linda. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Please welcome our next reader, Max.
I'm losing my memory, so I gotta read this one. Let's see. Moving closer to the ledge and leading me to destruction. Allegedly, this destruction was foretold like sign language with no thumbs, in the cold hands that have grown numb, from grabbing at frozen hearts covered in marks carved by the names of every other mother, sister, brother that can be blamed, yet all the signatures suspiciously look the same, linked by the same ink that is distinct and tied to just one writer, waking up on the edge of the bed, resting on the corner of the land of dreams and nightmares. Whether here nor there, neither would be much different if they didn't have the corner to share.
Great job, Max. Give it up for Max. Alright, I kind of ran out of things to talk about, but I hope I don't talk too much to anyone else though. Let's welcome our next reader, Felicia.
Tamika convinced me to. So, and this one was actually, I usually write typically very happy, joyful things. This was not. This was kind of inspired by somebody else here. You know the guy who's awesome who did the goldfish poem? Oh, yeah. Anyhow, he wrote one about his kids being born. It was beautiful, it was glorious. This one is actually flipping it, and it's about suicide. Okay? How do we enter this world? Baby was born inflicted with pain. What rights do we have for gain? Warmth of a mother's breast to soothe a beating, crying face. Sink our hearts' beating pace. Ah, so soft to touch, so cozy and such. Swaddle me, wrap me in warmth now. Hold me, Father. Where are you? Blink once, blink twice. Teenage years are here, acne, body odor, and crippling fear with peers. Touch me, Daniel. Make me accepted in love. Tell me that which I do not think I am. Desirable, admirable, worthy to be loved. Lay with me for 10 minutes. Ah, ecstasy. Sleep now, arise and find you beside me. Where are you, lover? Blink once, blink twice. Adulthood is the most tragic and violent of all hoods. Just how do we get out, suffering from such angst and self-doubt, past trauma from daddy or mama? I don't know, but I'm sure gonna. Take the pill. Blink once, blink twice. Where are you, soul? In pain, no more.
It was so good. Thank you for reading. So we're winding down. We're winding down to our last couple of poets. But I just wanted to say thank you for coming out, and it's been a great show. I'm really glad that we're in the speakeasy now. I mean, if you remember the days of High Falls or whatever we were calling it over there, yeah, this is so much better, and our microphone works better. So I just wanted to say that. Please welcome our next reader, Lucas Samuel.
Hi, this is my first time here. I wrote this yesterday because rent got expensive and I was upset. It's called This One's About Pineapple Pizza / Taco Bell / whatever I can afford tonight. Do you remember that simple budgeting rule that they taught us in school? 30%. Save that for your rent. I know I only passed pre-calculus barely, but I don't think they accounted for some variables. Do you know anyone who's hiring or not participating in this year's Help Wanted sign art walk? Sometimes it feels like as if I can't even afford to talk. As if every word I'll be met with a screen asking me if I'd like to leave a tip or a digital ka-ching. Is it a coincidence we wear uniforms of past revolutionaries from the 60s or 70s to have some psychological, generational groupthink that we desire to embody these heroes we were barely taught about in school? Or is it because $2 for a shirt is cheaper than $50 for something that won't fit? Why does it feel like we've already lost it all? All for one, but only one for all of y'all. The good news is the bad news is free. Download this app. For every hour you doom scroll, they plant half a tree. Late stage capitalism meets new age, I just want to survive. What is new age, I just want to survival? Hell if I know, but if I figure it out, I won't tell any of you poor saps. I'll sell the information to the highest bidder, secure my financial future, and make a downtown studio apartment affordable for at least one residential term. And after that, I'll have to come up with something else. Do you think Congress people get discounts on their meds for dementia? Or, their plans for economic reformation? That they forgot to mention. But they'll always remember their pension. They think the little people, they never think of the little people. They forgot. They never mentioned. Have you seen this new open air concept they're trying for schools? Bullet holes in all the walls. They're playing us all for fools. They've got the country by the balls. The system has failed you. There is no worthy rhyme for that last line. I'd like to tell you we should design a new one, but the truth is you can't afford it. No matter who you are, there's a comfort for no one. When I get paid enough, I'll be all for it. In the meantime, let's order takeout or something and go smoke, because I don't know what the hell else I'm going to do tonight. All right.
Give it up one more time for the first time you ever did this anymore. Just because I fucking felt that, dude. That was great. Thank you. Probably gonna get Taco Bell, actually. So yeah, thanks for coming out, guys. Please tip your bartenders. They're so cute and so bearded and so cool. I don't think they're really doing anything right now, but you know. Anyway, I would also like to read a poem since we have some extra time. So I haven't really written a whole lot recently, but I flew on a plane to St. Pete recently to visit a friend, and in Florida. And I don't know, you just look at these moments, you're just sitting around and then you just see one, it's 2 seconds and you're like, I gotta write about whatever the hell I'm thinking about right now. It just kind of hits me personally. I also want to say something kind of weird about what happened was I took a round trip. It was 5-day span between just here to St. Pete and then back to Huntsville. And there was this dad and his little daughter, and she was so cute. And I just was I don't know. I just thought he was just such a cool dad. I don't know. I'm just outside looking in, so maybe it's different. But it was so weird that they sat right in front of me, and then literally on the same trip back, they're on the same plane on my round trip flight back. After I'd written the poem, I was I'm glad I wrote a poem about you guys. You guys are so cute. So anyway, just a little background. So I didn't title it. Here we go. Humans figuring out how to fly in planes has always fascinated me. It is impressive how smart we can be sometimes. It is also interesting to me how we are always so relentless at maintaining control, yet in this instance, so nonchalant about relinquishing it. We have no choice. It's time for flight. I always try focusing on the page or the music. I'm traveling after all. But every single time the plane takes off from the tarmac, I can't help but to take it all in. Metal rubbing laboriously into position, the speed of a machine's running start, gravity playing its part on our fragile bodies, a child's gaze, it's her first time. All the little houses, silent observation of sprawling capitalist suburbia, always in constant development. Families turned into chicken coops, someone's backyard. They thought I wouldn't see. How embarrassing. All of us marvel, while eye level with nimbus clouds. We are safe, I think. And even though the dice are heavily in my favor, all I can do now is wait. Thank you. So that I